definitely. countdown?
No, there's not really a countdown. We'll just kind of wing it. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back, people from Internet Lands. How we all doing? How's everybody doing this fine evening?
Well, it's wet here.
It's extremely wet. It's extremely wet. Yes, we're starting a couple minutes early because it seems like everybody's already here. I think the chat is slightly delayed on my screen.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Because I'm not even seeing anything on mine. Okay, there it is.
Go. I just changed it to the dual camera thing. Good. Everybody's doing good. David says, I made it in time. Yes, you made it in time.
Yes, you did.
It's extremely dry here. Yeah. It says Lane has an echo. Why? That's not good.
Oh, I can tell you it's delayed because I'm watching the stream, and when we talk, it's like 10 seconds or something.
Well, it's going to be a little bit delayed. Dave, I think your camera froze.
Maybe. I'll look at.
And, yep, I think Dave's camera froze. Hold on.
Hello.
We're having a wee bit of issues getting this going.
Is it still froze?
I think. No, you're not now on my screen.
Okay. It's probably the weather. Those of you out there, if you're wondering, we're doing this in the middle of a storm.
Yeah, we're streaming in the middle of a storm. That might not be a good idea.
Probably not.
You sound like you're in a tin can. Turn your reverb down. I don't have any reverb on. I don't think. Stand by.
Weather is terrible. Yeah. Oh, Square Fever, we're doing fine today. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it on.
I'm stupid. Okay. See, guys, let me know if that fixed the reverb issue with my mic.
Oh, you had your audio on from YouTube, or
no? I had. Well, I have my earbuds are monitoring the different audio sources, and I think it's a long story. I think if the stream ends abruptly, we know why. Yes, you did. It did. It's fixed. Good. That issue was caused by my own stupidity, but we fixed it. Everything's fine. When is the next vlog? I don't know. How's 171? I get that question a lot. She's doing good so far. She was out on the baseball trip this weekend, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I didn't think you were up for having to do field trips, but I guess they're not pulling the 26s yet.
Well, the conversation with... I'm going to turn you up a little bit, Dave. They're saying our mics are quiet.
Okay, maybe if I got a little closer. How about that? Is that any better?
How does that sound? Let me know. Guys, this is a learning curve for me with this whole streaming thing. So let me know if we're too quiet or too loud, or I can hardly hear Lane. Dave sounds good. Lane's a little quiet. Just you? Why is it just me?
I don't know. You sound well. Of course, I'm listening to you through the not the software, but through what we're doing this.
So you're listening to me on the stream?
Yes. That way I am.
Okay.
No, No, I'm listening to you on what we're talking to each other on,
Oh,
not not through YouTube,
all right.
because otherwise it'd be a delay. Too long. Oh, now it's saying Dave is loud. All right, I'll pull the mic back a little bit.
Dave is loud. Um,
Well, Dave is always loud. If you guys haven't listened to me on my podcast, I am loud.
okay, how is my mic now, guys? Lane is very quiet, Dave is very loud. Dave is too loud. Okay, I'll pull Dave back a little bit. Do we have a 14, 111, 112, and 113? No. We don't. I thought that the 14s ran straight from 100 to 120, but no, there's some holes in that pattern. Still quiet. Am I? Oof. Okay, let's try. Okay, how am I now, guys? I'm pushing.
I think you have the music in the background. Maybe if you turn that off.
Well, the preview in my headset, I can't hear the music at all, hardly. It's an imbalance in audio. If you guys could see the audio sliders on my screen right here, I've got like mine all the way up and Dave's like most of the way down. Still, we can barely hear you. Dave's. Lane sounds quiet. Lane sounds quiet. Why am I quiet?
Hey, Arthur Harris, how you doing? Oh, that's not a background. That is actually all my. They're 3D printed space models that I've done over the years, as well as all my different science fiction movie posters. Yeah, I'm kind of a kid at heart.
Music is loud. Okay. Wait, we'll turn the music down. Maybe my gain's low. Maybe it is. I don't. Dude, if y'all could see the volume sliders on my other screen, like literally mine is all the way up, the music is all the way down, and Dave's is like a quarter of the way up. I don't know what's going on.
No, I am not. Los Angeles roleplay, I am not his father at all.
Well, if you want to go the Star Wars route, yes.
I am not your father.
Dave is
and Lane,
quiet
this setup
now,
is
and
done.
Lane is even more quiet.
Hey, Parker Taylor, we have no idea why 1202 has two different mirrors. I have no idea. They're just, it is what it is.
I'm going to go over here and try to fix my device settings on my PC because whatever's going on with my microphone is not working right. Please turn up my volume. Turn up my volume.
Maybe Lane just needs to talk louder. How about that?
What?
I'm just reading what the note says. It does say, what's the oldest bus you guys have ever driven? I think for me it was an '02. It was on one of my videos. I believe it was an '02 Bluebird. That I actually was driving '06 32 at the time, and I had a flat tire at the school, and they couldn't get another bus out to me quick enough, so they just said use one of the what do they call them? They keep buses at the schools for the athletics. So they just said use the athletic bus. And then, of course, Lane's dad actually called me on the phone and talked me through how to turn the thing on because of the switches were all over the place. So that's my oldest one.
Yeah, I remember that. Y'all are both still low? Are we?
Why do you guys not have Bluebirds?
Because they're terrible. Excuse me. We decided not to. I don't know. Do y'all still have the '07s with the Cummins? Yes, I've been trying to make a video on one, and I can't ever get a hold of one. They're all always running around. Why do your school buses have 2 stop signs? Well, that's just sounds good.
They all do, but 201.
Okay. Now they're saying my volume's fine.
Okay, well that's great.
So I think, do we fix it? Type 1 if
Yeah.
the volume is good now.
Yeah, for both of us. So hopefully,
Yeah.
it says I can hear you guys perfectly fine.
Type 1 if it sounds fine now.
Turn off your mic. We started it. Who are you talking to?
I don't
Darn-
know. I don't know what that means. Why do you hold? Yep.
Oh!
Just
one,
just
one,
a-
one, one, one.
Just a machine gun. Okay, we can stop typing 1 now. Goodness gracious. Holy mess. I can't even read the names this fast as people are going by.
Well, the big question I've noticed a lot in here, Lane, is are you still on a spare? That's what everyone keeps asking.
Well, I should be back on 171 by the time we get back to Monday. But I keep seeing somebody say, when you call for station 1, does that mean there's multiple? Not yet. The distant 20 or 30-year plan at the county I've heard is that if our population keeps growing, we may have to have a second bus yard, and in that case it would be called station 2 on the radio. That's all speculation, though. None of that is actually taking place yet. Dave sounds kind of quiet on my end. I'm not
I'm
gonna
not talking that much.
I'm not gonna touch it much right now
Yeah.
because everybody just sent a waterfall of ones. What spare did you have? Which one? I had 3. Why do you not film with students on the bus? Because that is a massive safety issue if I was to show their faces or their names or where they live. We live in a crazy
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, and also, anyone under 18, we would have to get parent permission and all that. So it's not worth the headache.
Yeah.
Dave, do you like 99 or 171 more? I've only driven 99 once, and that was right after I got my license. I drove it with Lane on his route one day. Actually, I think it was only in the morning. I don't even think I got a chance to ride with you in the afternoon because they pulled me for another route. I trained on 171, so I would say 171 just because I drove that one for probably 2-3 weeks in training and only drove 99 once.
There's that one bus guide 25 says, do you think Lowndes will start using the signing where the stop sign and school bus sign is illuminated? 201, being the quirky character it is, actually has that. I don't know. I don't know if that would be a thing we would intentionally get or not. Have you ever been in a bus accident? No.
No.
Oh, I love this comment. Pickles says,
Well,
"Why?"
I've blown tires, but that's about it.
Yeah. Why don't you say things on the radio? Because the other 12 old women I work with have it covered for me. I don't need to add to it. I really don't. Somebody here says, our district has been buying international since '02. I don't know how they survived the Max Force debacle. That's because we actually did the same thing. We left international over the whole Max Force thing. That's why we started buying C2s, and then Thomas started having quality control issues over the past couple of years. So at that point, it was kind of, we decided to go back to international. Charlene.
How long have I driven a bus for? I have driven a bus. I started last year. I actually got hired before school started, or let me rephrase that. I was finishing up my training right as school started. However, I did not get a chance to go to the back to school meeting because I had a doctor's appointment previously on that day. And then shortly after that, like a week or 2 weeks after that, is when I started. So there was no way I was getting a route, and I didn't want a route actually when I first started, but it changed.
Says, Lane, do you prefer the Thomas FS65 or the Bluebird Vision? I have not had a chance to drive either one, so I'm going to say the 65 because I just hate the Vision. Did you guys get rid of Bluebirds? All of our Bluebird 3800s that were spare buses have retired. So, almost. We have a couple baby birds that we just
Yeah,
got.
those new ones.
Lane, will you buy 99 when they sell it? That entirely depends on what I'm actually doing in life when that point gets here.
I don't know. I know I've been watching some videos about how people convert old school buses into RVs and living conditions. And you guys have, those of you that have ridden buses, they're not the most comfortable riding buses.
They're really not.
I hear doors slamming in the other room.
I was wondering if that was just me or if you heard that.
No, it was. I think it was my grandson was slamming the door for some reason. Who
How do they
knows?
decide when to retire y'all's buses? It depends on how many new ones we get and how big the mainline fleet is compared to what we need. If we have a new batch of buses we buy and we say, okay, the main line is too big, we'll retire the oldest bit into the spare line, and then the oldest one in the spare lines then get retired. Um, we've been told, due to budget constraints, that our new bus purchases are going to have to be less than they have been. So, for that reason, our spare buses are probably going to be working longer than they would have been, which is good news for 99. That means she gets to stick around, or bad news if she gets treated the same way. Would you still be driving 99 if they didn't retire it? Yes.
Well, thank you, Ethan. Yeah, the those LED lights really turned out pretty nice. I was happy with those.
I keep seeing people say, Lane, when will you post again? I'll get there when I get there. I'm, I'm not sure what to tell y'all.
Yeah, we're not on a schedule when we post. I mean, most of the time it's just like for Lane and I. I mean, I don't know about Lane. I keep a GoPro in my side, bin. If I need it, I grab it out and then I start recording. But
Yeah.
uh,
That's what
I,
I'll
I
do is I'll sometimes throw the head cam in my bus bag just to have it in case something interesting happens. But like the other day when the whole spare bus debacle happened, I didn't have one with me. I had not that one, I had the suction cup one with me, and then it just, yeah, everything went sideways. The chat is like rolling so fast.
yeah, it's so hard to actually catch something. Dave, what bus would you drive besides 24201? Whatever they give me. I mean, honestly, I have no say in it. I was hoping this year when I got the route, I was hoping I would get the bus because it's an oddity, and some of our other drivers, as you've probably heard on the radio, I just don't know if they can handle it. You know,
Somebody here said, hey Lane, Airbus or Boeing? Boeing, obviously.
for sure.
I knew you would agree with that.
Yeah, I was an aircraft mechanic for 20 years, so yes, I'm definitely gonna pick a Boeing over Airbus.
If you had to choose a bus to live in for 1 week besides your current bus, which one would it be?
212.
Well, okay, you have 212. I'll take 191. It's a 2023, and 181 and 191 are like the smoothest buses I've ever driven. It's weird.
Yeah, but but JB keeps 212 immaculate, so it's going to be clean. You can sleep on the floor.
That's fair. Well, she said he or she said live in. I don't know if that meant just drive it for a week or like live in, live in.
I thought it was live in, like sleep in it.
That's what I thought. But my brother used to work at Boeing. Yeah, my uncle did. Technically great uncle, but yes. T3FE or Vision. I'll go Vision just because it's a conventional. I like flat nose buses, but I don't like front engine flat nose buses. I don't think they have a point. Why wouldn't they put you in a 2026? Because I haven't been driving long enough, you know. Imagine if you had been driving for 30 years and you were finally going to get the chance to drive a brand new bus, and then some kid shows up who's been driving less than 2 years, and they're like, oh, we're going to give him the new bus instead. Like, you see how that sounds? So they kind of do it experience based. People keep asking what the LMD stands for. It's my initials. HDX or EFX? I'm going to say HDX because it's a rear engine. Did you see the new Evolve C2? Yes. Dave, have you seen it?
Which one is that?
The new generation C2.
I think I saw it on Facebook because it popped up with all the bus stuff that I get. Yeah, you know.
It's, or what do they call it? The C2 Evolved?
I think that's something like that. Of course, the stuff I'm seeing is all this. What are they? EV buses, and I'm just like, I just can't see it.
Oh God, no! I don't like EV buses.
No, thank you.
Yeah, it's Oh, come on! I'm trying to find a picture of it. Work with me, Google. There we go. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna change screens real quick. Look at this. This is what it is. They've changed, like, there's buttons in the steering wheel and stuff now. They've made it look like the inside looks like a Freightliner Cascadia. Is what it looks like.
Charlene, we're gonna give you a shout out. Well, she said, "Hey guys, can you give me a shout out?"
Yeah,
so.
but she's typed it about 31 times in the chat.
Oh, I just see him, every so often.
So I just realized I'm kind of an idiot. I was showing what I thought was the C2 on the screen, and I didn't actually change it.
I've been waiting. I was like, I want to see what this looks like.
Good Lord, I'm an idiot. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So I know there's a delay on the stream. It should come through in just a second of the actual picture of it.
Are you
I don't know if I'm that crazy about it, to be honest. First of all, I don't need that many buttons
why?
in the dash. Or I mean on the steering wheel. I don't need that many buttons on the steering wheel.
Well, that was one thing I hated about the Internationals is like the old ones anyway, the CEs, where when you had to remember what side was the flashers, then you had to open the door, then you had to close the door, then you had to turn the flashers off,
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. How does the numbering system work in your district? So what we do is...
I'm sorry. I'm reading Kelly Berry's. Dave, has anyone farted and stunk the bus? Yes. Almost. It seems like every
I
day.
have a kid this past week that has been doing that every single morning when I get to the middle school. I'm going to write him up. He's driving me insane. He's driving me insane. Holy crap, this chat's moving fast. The Evolve C2s are a copyright to the 3rd Gen CE. I have no clue what you mean by that. The 3rd Gen CE was trying to copy the original C2, if you ask me. Okay, whoever's saying Nick is Skibbity, you're getting muted. Like, what? Because he's just spamming the chat.
Sorry.
Lane, if you have to choose, are you driving a C2 or a CE? I'm taking a C2. I've kind of turned myself into a C2 purist.
Do you use other channels on the radio? Can you talk to other channels privately on those channels? Like if you wanted to talk, can we go to channel 2 and talk? I don't think so, can we? I mean, I've never changed it. It's always been on.
You can. There's only 2 channels. Channel 1 is the long range channel. So it goes from your bus to the big antenna at the bus shop and then spreads it to all the other buses. Channel 2 is the short range bus to bus. So it goes from your bus antenna straight to anybody close enough to hear it, but you can only get it out about 1.5 miles. So like when we go on band trips, we put them on channel 2 so that the 13 of us can talk. Okay, yeah, the people spamming in the chat, y'all gotta go.
I just blocked them.
Yeah, I can do it from my end where it says put them in timeout so they can't comment for like half an hour.
Oh, I just go in there, just block them. Dave, should Lane drive 98? I don't know. I only drove it for like half a day, not even a route, and it was like an older C2, basically. So I'm assuming it drives the same as 99, but I don't know. But I didn't show it on my video, but it was pretty beat up. I mean, the front end looked like it had hit like a tree or something. So look at that. There's somebody else that's.
Dude,
right,
the people, guys, if you start spamming that, you're getting kicked out. Literally my first stream ever, and I've got people doing this.
Well, some of it's bots too.
Yeah.
So.
Who would you say is the worst driver in the district? I'm not saying that.
We're not going to say names. No.
Do you like the electric parking brake or the physical air parking brake better? When it works, I like the electric one. When it doesn't work, I prefer the physical one.
I was going to say, I've got the electric one in mine, and there are times where I wish I had the manual one. If you saw my last one, when you do a like a bleed down check or a brake check, it's kind of annoying. It's so much easier with the manual one where you can see it pop out and everything, rather than just have a light and another audio thing screaming at you.
Yeah. Speaking of audio, they're saying my mic is still quiet. Okay, I'll turn my mic up just
What's
slightly.
Dave's channel? You mean channel?
Will it be more streams? Possibly. It depends on if all of y'all like this. Do you think you're going deaf every time you turn off 171? Dude, I swear. Yes.
Yeah, somebody posted a comment on how hard it is actually to get that light check to work. And I'm like, well, what's the point? Because like you have to have the key in the accessory and flashers on and this on. And I'm like, it's just easier just to turn the lights on and just
I can
walk
literally
outside.
just go boom, 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 and then get out and walk around. And it's, do y'all have backup cameras?
The new Internationals do.
I think, yeah. Does it 201 have one?
Yes, it sort of works. I have to manually put it on whenever I use it.
How many buses do y'all take to the football games? Okay, this will blow your mind. So we take 5 or 6 school buses for the football team, 1 bus for the cheerleaders, and 13 for the band.
Wow.
Plus all the support trucks and whatnot. So it's quite a convoy. Normally the band travels by themselves, and then the cheerleaders and football team travel by themselves. So it's not one massive convoy, but it is one massive convoy. Is 99 a 2012 or 2011? I'm wondering because some buses are. Yeah, buses are numbered the same way they do in the automotive industry. So around middle of the year, they start manufacturing the next year model. So she was built in mid late 2011, but is a 2012 model. Lane,
Well,
drive
didn't
1299. What do you I've been trying to.
well didn't COVID really push our why we got so many buses when we did? You know, I remember going back to what you were saying about how we're going to kind of throttle back on buying some, but because there was that 2 year stretch of not getting any buses new, and then they kind of have finally made up for it.
Yeah, we have a decent chunk of 2020s and 2021s. Uh,
But we didn't have any
Zane is here.
19s.
We got Zane's in. Nice.
Hey Zane, what's up?
All right,
We should have Zane on. We should have Zane on here tell us all about his international and how it drives,
yeah.
because he's got one of the 26s.
Okay, the people asking for shout outs, please stop. Y'all gotta stop. Dave and Lane should
What?
switch buses for a day. I feel like that would have been more interesting on 99 because of the age difference. Our buses are closer in age now, so it's like,
They're, I mean, other than the switches being in weird places on my bus, it probably is this pretty much the same.
I love how this thing says Lane should drive O2, and then the very next comment says he would rip off one of the mirrors because they're mismatched. That does sound like something I would do. Hey, for anybody's wondering, if y'all are wondering what I'm drinking in this glass right here, I've got literally a 2 liter of this stuff that is sitting down here next to me. Oh my, stop spamming. I don't know who CBL Animations is, but that's like the third time. You're getting blocked, my guy. Do y'all have electric C2s? No.
Thank the Lord.
ICFE or Bluebird T3FE?
Y'all are talking Greek to me. I've driven C2s and CEs. That's about it.
Yeah. He's asked, that means the international flat front with a front engine or the Bluebird
See,
equivalent.
I'd love to drive one of those those flat, not front engine, but one of those flat face ones. I would love to just to drive one.
Yeah, I would love to try it. They keep telling me to turn on slow mode. If I could figure out what that was, then I would.
Yeah. What's the worst bus I have ever driven? I don't know. I mean, they're all pretty decent, you know. Oh gosh, the dancing bananas block.
Dancing bananas? Oh my days. Dude, I look away from the chat for 5 seconds, and these oh my.
Oh, hold on. There's a good question on here. It says, Dave and Lane, where'd it go? I gotta scroll back up here.
Scroll back up and find it real quick.
Yeah. Everyone keeps asking, are you going to video your white Silverado? Yeah, here it is. Dave and Lane, what's the hardest thing about driving a school bus? Brian asks. Lane, you've been doing it a little bit longer than me, and we've got different age groups too. So I kind of want to hear what you say, and then I'll jump in. Or do you want me to start?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out what they mean by this slow mode thing. Go ahead and run that by me again.
Yeah. The question was, what is the hardest thing about driving a school bus?
Oh, okay. Do you want to go first or me?
It don't matter. If you want me to go first, I can.
Yeah,
the hardest thing really is the kids, is dealing with the kids. Because I have elementary kids part of the time. The other part, I've got high school and middle schoolers. Well, the area I live at, all the kids are pretty good for the most part. However, some of my elementary kids, they're just a little bit, shall I say, rambunctious. Um, didn't take their medicine or whatever, keeping them in their seats, that's really the hardest thing, and then constantly, hey, Mr. Dave such and such is doing this, or Mr. Dave such and such is doing that, come on, guys. My high school and middle schoolers, they're actually really good. I have no problems with them at all. I did one point, and the kid was like, "Oh yeah, I wasn't touching them," and I was like, "Dude, you put it on your Instagram page." So, he's like, "Okay, you're right." So, other than that, yeah.
Yeah, I would say I'd say the same thing. It's the kids and I mean, I used to be a sub driver, so the people are saying 0312 is here. Hello, Nashawn, if you're here. But yeah, I think the kids, and which you're a little bit different, but I've done some elementary routes that are interesting, to put it lightly, and that's really where I figured out that um, middle and high school was my thing. I really don't care much for doing elementary schoolers, just mainly because you can't keep them under control. There's 40 of them, and there's one of you,
Hmm.
and it's like no, yeah.
Well, there's also the age difference too between me and you. A lot of times that the kids will kind of like, okay, this is an older guy. He knows what he's talking about, and he's loud. So
Yeah.
that could be a part of it too. I do think the other hardest part when I was a sub, and I'm sure Lane will probably back this up, is following the route sheet at 5:30 in the morning when it's pitch black out and you have no idea where you are in the city.
Oh, I
Like,
have a story about that. So I've probably told you, Dave. I've probably told you this before, but I'll tell everybody watching. When I first got licensed, the very first morning route, like AM pickup route that I ever did, was on the opposite side of the county from where I live. So I was not familiar with it. It was November. It was pitch black dark, and it was this long country route. It was at the time it was 154. I don't know what the bus number is now. But I was so lost in the dark. I'm trying to read this piece of paper and look for road signs, and our dispatcher had to look at the satellite feed and give me directions over the radio how to get to my first stop. And I was about, I think, 20 minutes late. I mean, it was the most stressful thing.
oh yeah, that was me on my second day. They had me going to one part of the city, one part of the county I had never ever been to, and they were all dirt roads, and you could barely. There was no lights. Of course, you couldn't see the signs. Half the time I'm passing kids, stopping, having to back up to get them. Yeah, it was craziness. And then we had the tablet that does nothing. So I was like, well, why aren't the tablet telling me to stop and go this far? And but I finally just went and I brought my old GPS out and I put it up next to it for the next day, and I just followed. I put in an address and followed it. So
Yeah. Or the other thing of that is you can set the GPS, but not punch in a destination, and just have it on like a live map sort of thing, so
mhm.
you can like see what roads are coming before you actually get there.
Yeah,
That was a trick Dad told me, and it was the. Somebody says 154 to Station 1, I'm lost. That's pretty much how that went. That's pretty much how that went. Tablets are just for looks. No, not really. I mean, they do actually serve a purpose. Lamar County, Georgia is slowly turning into an all vision district. I hate that so much. Everybody around us uses visions, and I'm like, they're the most ugly things.
because of your channel, Lane, everyone is making a Lowndes County school game because you inspired them. You are the most coolest guy or coolest bus YouTuber I ever met.
Wow. Wow. I have
Hey,
seen that though. Like people tag me in post, and they'll be playing like Roblox or something, and they'll build a C2 in Roblox and put 99 on the side of it. Have
what
you
is
ever
the
driven a
exterior light monitor?
2017 International? No, I have not.
I'm not sure what that is. What do you guys think about the exterior light monitor in the buses?
It's the thing on your switch panel down by your left knee. It's the little diagram of the bus that shows what lights are on.
Oh, it needs to be in a better place.
It is not
Honestly,
bright enough.
it's not bright enough. I like it. I use it, but it should be in the dash, like right above our radio, so you can kind of glance over there and it's facing directly at you, not at a flat point.
Yeah,
You know,
you can't see it. It's
even our old internationals when they were above us, they're above our head. You
yeah.
kind of still had to look up like this to see it.
At least, I mean,
But
those usually those were bright enough you could see them, but it was like I'm sitting here looking at it like, what the heck? Lane, what do you think is superior, the C2 or a Bluebird? Come on, C2, obviously.
propane buses. Oh, I don't know. Never driven
Oh,
one.
I was about to say, they're at 171 to station one. I'm lost. That's funny. The propane buses, I don't know. I don't know what to think about a propane bus. My question would be in an accident. What's gonna happen if the fuel tank gets ruptured in an accident? Is it gonna be worse than diesel? Is it gonna be not as bad as diesel? I don't know.
Lane, you should put LED lights in your bus like Dave.
I've
I
been
agree.
planning
I've sent
to, and
a link.
I just haven't got around to it. What is louder, 171 or 201? I think 171 is louder.
Oh, it's just because it's older, too.
Well,
You know,
mainly
it's-
because of the squeaks. I have squeaks that come out of random seats, and the entire, like, the plastic paneling above the door has, like, a weird croaking sound to it.
No, I've got ever since they replaced my door, I've got a. It sounds like you got a nut on top of a bolt, and it sounds like the washer's going ding 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 ding. It's just that's what it sounds like to me anyway,
Yeah.
and that something is loose up there. So it's funny. I've actually got a little sheet that I've been keeping track of now. I'm writing up my write ups on, and then when they fix them, and then
Yeah.
to see if they really do fix them, or if it comes back.
Oh, I've been kind of making a mental list because like 171 has service next week. So
So does mine. I think a lot of ours have service next week.
yeah. And it usually depends on when they did it in July. As far because they did a bunch of them right before school started. So
Right.
it's like when 171 goes in for service, I've got a bunch of stuff that needs to be written up. Like the front end needs an alignment, the tail needs an alignment. I've got the stop signs are way too slow coming in. I've got marker lights that turn off and on at random. The crossing gate does not go all the way out. It kind of goes like not quite all the way out, but close. How do you feel on people recreating your videos in video games? As long as you're not like ripping my audio and putting it on there to try and make money, then it's fine. Don't basically put your animation over a video I made. But yeah, if you just want to recreate the bus, that's fine. Nashawn
Dave.
says, Lane, look at your phone. I know, I saw one of his texts come in.
Dave beads his bus to talk like Kit in Knight Rider. I'd love to be able to do something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool because that's my generation. I grew up on Knight Rider. So someone asked, how hard is it to get a CDL? It's not hard at all. Basically, how I got mine is I got my handy dandy little phone. I just went on there and typed CDL prep in the App Store. I downloaded like 4 or 5 of them, and I just went through the final exams on all of them, and just all the free ones because they were free. I just did the free ones, And I just went through the final exams. I just kind of boom, 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 and I saw the same questions verbatim on the test. And then we have to do our practical. We have a person in house. As a matter of fact, Zane is our certifier. He actually does our certifying in house. We have to drive with him, and you know, he's like, okay, turn here, turn there, turn here, turn there, and then he'll ask a question, hey, what did that sign say? What did this do? What did this, just to make sure you're paying attention and know what you're doing, and that's it. I
I
got my LED sign from Amazon. If somebody asks,
Yeah,
I think for me,
they're ask. Some people are asking if I got my plate put back on the bus. Yes, I did. Somebody was asking if I found my little wooden cross. No, I have no clue where that thing is. I'm
you got that in Costa Rica, didn't you?
the cross?
Yeah.
No, a friend of mine gave it to me
Oh.
um in high school. I kept it in my truck for a while and then put it on my bus. Do you like driving the bus or a van better? Bus.
Yeah.
I hate driving van chassis buses.
Yeah. Our church bus is kind of a. Wouldn't you say it's a van chassis?
Well, there's two of them. We have a van chassis and we have like a truck chassis bus.
Yeah.
I don't like either one of them. They're terrible.
Do I rather drive the older buses or the newer buses? Oh, give me a new bus any day.
Yeah,
You know,
seriously.
I
I
mean,
like I like
if you want,
'09 for the sentimental
yeah, go ahead.
value, but like as far as just quality of life, I'll take the newest thing you can give me.
Oh yeah. I mean, when it comes to buses, you want something new. When it comes to classic cars, you want the old. Have you ever driven a short bus? I have. I assume you've done some, haven't you? When you were subbing?
Uh, Short, but yes, I've driven sped buses several times. Which
Yeah,
I saw the new CE sped buses. They're
they're
almost as long
huge.
as 99.
Yeah, they're not much longer than mine. You know, I know. JB was telling me that 201 is just slightly shorter than the one he has. He's actually got the same amount of seats, but they've got more leg room. And mine is the same size as 99, if whatever the same length
Yes.
is.
Yes, because 201 is the quirky one. It's the
Exactly.
same
Yeah.
length as most of our C2s, and then the 23s and the other 24s and 25s are the ones that have the slightly extended tail. What's the oldest bus you guys still have in service? Mainline service, a 2014 C2. They are the oldest ones. Oldest spare buses is 2003, 2004.
I think four. I think they
Four.
got rid of all the fours and twos, or threes and twos.
I can't remember if there's any three. It's a 2004 first gen CE would be the oldest spare bus we have. Who is JB? That is Jabari, guy that drives 212. I took 212 on a field trip once. Nice bus.
Yeah. See, Lane does field trips. I typically don't do field trips. I did one last year just
Oh, I love
because
field trips.
they didn't have enough drivers and they needed it.
Yeah.
Just because I've got other things going on in my life. I got a grandson here, and I work another job and stuff. So I was like, no, I'd rather not do field trips. So
What would you do if you were handed the keys to a Vision to drive next year? I would drive it. I'll drive whatever they tell me to drive, but I would certainly have some opinions on it.
yeah, like that new bus that on your one of your last videos where you came up and I said, yeah, it's gasoline, not diesel, and you're like, what?
Uh, no, I don't like that. Give me a diesel, please.
Have we ever heard of SBCV? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I've got no idea. You need your dad to do the shut up process to the bus. Yeah, that's true. I do need to ask him to do that. never think about it. Dave, do you have another kid than Lane? We're not related, guys. we're,
I have
we're not
I have
related.
3 children of my own. Lane and I are just friends.
Do we look alike? Is that why they're saying that? I mean,
I don't think so.
why would I call my dad by his first name? Like I wouldn't do that. No, Dad, I'm not sure where he is. I think he's out and about somewhere.
The SBCV is a Bluebird body, but with a 2nd-gen chassis.
Oh, that's what. Okay, I forgot they were called that. I don't like those. Nashawn showed me a picture of those one time, and I was like, "What in the Samantha is going on here?" It was the ugliest looking thing. I gotta see if I can find a picture of that.
The gas mileage on the gas buses is awful. Have to weigh fuel too much in the PS. Yeah, definitely. I can't imagine.
Okay, I'm gonna change the screen over real quick.
Whoa.
This is the SBCV. It's like an International and a Bluebird Vision had a kid. And like it screws with my brain so hard. It is the weirdest looking thing. Like, do you see this? Has it changed?
It looks like
over?
It looks like a Freightliner front end. You know.
No,
I mean,
it's, that's the International front end.
yeah.
But look at
But then above the windows is all.
But it's Bluebird from there back.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And the inside of it, if I can, well, maybe I can find a picture. Interior. Yeah. See if I can. Oh, well, that's a lovely blurry picture. Come on. Is it that? No, it's not that. There you go. The inside is... Let's see if I show you. It's like a CE crossed with a Vision. It is the silliest looking thing. There's a delay on the stream, so I have to wait a second for Dave to actually be able to see it.
Yeah, yeah.
It should be going through now.
Yeah, I'm seeing these.
It's...
Oh, that is weird.
It's immensely weird. Like, I don't like the Vision to begin with, but like, what? Huh? Somebody was drinking when they came up with that.
Yeah.
Like this. No, just no. Why would you do that?
Right. But it's got a radio, so.
Well, but honestly, when do you need a radio in a bus? I mean,
I mean, I had the kids ask me that Friday afternoon. They were like, are we allowed to play music on the bus? And I'm like, if it bothers anyone else, no. If everyone else doesn't care, fine, go ahead. I'm just not playing anything. So
yeah, I don't understand why. You should make a Discord server. I mean, I'd rather not, but I'll keep the idea in mind. Does your dad still have 171? No. So my dad wanted to go back to the classroom. So he's teaching again. He's not doing bus stuff.
Well, he is on his business, but not school bus.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna put that on YouTube or not, but
yeah. Okay.
If they told you to drive a gasoline bus, would you drive? I'll drive whatever they tell me to drive. That's my job. But like I said, I might have some opinions about it.
Yeah, Zane says the new Internationals have radios, but I asked my kids and they don't want to listen.
Can you imagine trying to get 40 small people to agree on what to listen to?
Yeah, I can't. You know.
Especially because we only have like 4 or 5 radio stations in town, and 2 of them are the same, and another 2 of them are the same type of music. So there's not a whole lot of variety. I also just realized we have 259 people watching. Holy mess! I was telling somebody earlier today that I was like, if it gets over like 150 or 200, I'll be impressed. Like that is mind-boggling.
That is.
Now Sean says you just don't ask the kids what they want to hear, just play what you want to play. Well, that's true. I
That's
don't
true.
think my kids want me playing Avril Lavigne at 7 in the morning, though, if we're being perfectly honest. Because people look at me in jeans and boots and they're like, oh, you probably listen to country music. And I'm like, I do, but I also listen to white girl music. And people don't understand it. It is the most confusing thing for them. When are we getting a wash bay video? I do need to do that, don't you?
Excuse me.
171 to station 1. Can y'all hear my music? Just turns the volume up to max. That's funny. Because you know inevitably there would be some old woman driving that would do that. I wonder if you guys have any flat-nosed bluebirds or Thomas. No, we don't have any flat-nosed bus at all. We're completely dog-nosed.
Yeah, Lane. What are your thoughts on Madonna?
I'm not familiar enough with her, honestly, to be able to comment. So y'all don't have music radios at all. Not on the buses, no.
No, I have a Bluetooth speaker I keep on there. If it's just me and I want to hear music, I'll just pop it on and it's Bluetooth to my phone, and I just like bum 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 play some music. You know, other than that, no.
You guys have 40 kids. My average is 60 for a 78 passenger bus. Our buses are technically 72 passenger, but the manufacturer makes that under the assumption that you're putting 3 kids to every seat. I'm not doing that. I drive middle school and high school, and with the amount of seat room I have on both 99 and 171, there's simply not enough room. Like, I have kids overflowing out in the aisle because trying to get 2 kids in that seat is a challenge, let alone 3. So,
Yeah, I mean, I could with some of my younger elementary kids, but uh, I run into a time constraint of when I leave one school, have to get the kids, and then I have to get at the next school in a certain amount of time. And if they all lived in the same area, that'd be one thing, but mine are like spread all over the place. So that's why I don't have as many elementary kids as I do high schoolers in the mornings. But
bonsoir. My dad just commented. What else we got in here? You should buy $12.99 if the district lets you. I've thought about it, but I don't have the money or the space to actually feasibly accomplish that. So, you know, but she's not close to being retired yet, so we'll see. There also is the chance that by the time she gets retired, she's going to be so dilapidated that it's like, you know.
well, after your last video, she already looks dilapidated.
And it's only been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because all they did was sit over the summer, and then yeah. What bus would you order if you were a transportation director? The 3rd gen CEs, probably. I just keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
These people keep saying they can barely hear me. Like, if y'all could see the extreme number that my mic is turned up to right now, I definitely got to go figure out what's up with this thing. My school bus driver drives over the speed limit. Well, they're not supposed to.
No.
I don't know what bus you're riding.
I drive the speed limit. I mean, that's usually why I'm late too. 'Cause
Yeah, I'm
it's like,
driving.
all right, I get there as best as I could.
And
Oh,
most of our
man.
roads, like some of our roads, if you try to drive a school bus fast on them, like it does not feel good. Why does the
Why does the
district not want
district?
order Thomas? Thomas is having quality control issues.
Oh yeah, some of our 25s are starting to have issues right now,
And they're
and
not even that old. That's the weird
they're
thing.
yeah, that's what I'm saying is they're not old at all. And
What are your thoughts on Hurricane Aaron? I'm hoping it turns.
yes, turn, turn, turn.
I hope that thing power slides before it gets to the East Coast.
What are your guys' thoughts on school buses having seat belts?
I'm heavily against that. I my thing with seatbelts, and this is a very very hot argument in the school bus community. People arguing, well, especially because of the rollover accidents that have happened over the past week. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
Mhm.
But the thing with a bus rolling over, people immediately look at this and say, "Oh, well, this is why school buses need to have seatbelts." I'm looking at that picture of the bus on its side, and I'm thinking, I'm glad it didn't have seatbelts because had that thing caught fire, how are you going to get 40, 50 some odd elementary schoolers unbuckled and get them out? Like,
Yeah,
school buses are built to be physically tough, but the downside of that is they burn very quickly. And if you're hanging upside down by your seatbelt, disoriented with smoke filling the cabin, first of all, kids aren't going to be thinking logically about how to undo their seatbelt. They're going to be panicking. And you're not going to be able to get that many kids undone and get them out. So the risk of fire alone is why I'm massively against the seatbelt situation. I can understand the arguments for it, but I don't know. The fire thing is what's holding me back from it.
yeah, and just imagine having to, if any of the seatbelts wouldn't release, having to cut 40 kids out of seatbelts and trying to evacuate at the same time. I mean, I don't. Yes, it's a pain to try to constantly say, hey, sit down, make sure you're in your seat, especially with my elementary kids. But it's still, I think that's better in the long run than if an accident or an issue happened and we had to get out and quickly with everyone in a seatbelt. I think it'd be very difficult.
Yeah, it's and I should point out our sped buses do have seatbelts,
Yeah.
or most of them do anyway. Um, but I'm trying to figure out what the correct way to say this is. The passengers are different, and sometimes you need that sort of process for them where they know this is how I sit correctly and I buckle in and whatnot. Um, which if you understand what I'm getting at there, good. If not, it's don't worry about it. But it's, yeah. Would you be able to
Yeah.
handle two loads on the same bus? Yes, if they would physically fit, but they don't.
I have done that with my elementary last year. I was actually, I had my route, and then sometimes in the afternoon, I would take 107's route, and yeah, I was packed, but I was able to get them all home safely. I did that several times last year, actually.
Yeah. Somebody's asking, do you know Claw Boss? I don't know him, but I know who you're talking about. Yes, I've watched some of his content. I think I watched one of his live streams once. Will you
We'll be
guys?
doing more live streams. Well, this was the first live stream we've ever done, and
This was kind of the experimental one. Yeah, we can look into doing some more in the future.
yeah.
Did they fix 99's air condition? She's in the sick bay currently, awaiting that.
Would you drive a 2014 for spare? We'll drive whatever spare they give us, honestly. Like
That's
when I went to go get a spare that one day, because like mine is due. I think it's Wednesday is when mine's due. So I usually
yeah,
go in because I keep the bus at my house. I'll go in and turn mine in Tuesday night because I don't want to deal with all that mess afterwards. Plus, a lot of times the mechanics, if they're caught up, sometimes they'll even start on them the night before, and
Yeah.
so I turn mine in the night before, and I get a spare. Plus, this way, a lot of times is I'll get my choice of a couple of them, and like
Yeah,
the last time I asked for 99, but it wasn't there, so that's why I grabbed 98.
they're pretty good and the technical procedure is you drive whatever spare bus they hand you, but they've been pretty good about giving me a choice. Um, and on my whole debacle with the 3 spare buses, when I was trying to pick
That
one
was
in the
just
morning, 99 wasn't there, but they let me pick 0909, and then when that fell apart, then I picked 23, then 23 fell apart, then I picked 0560 and drove 0560. That was a weird day. That was a really
yeah.
weird day. What type of GoPros do you have? I actually, funnily enough, addressed this in the video that I haven't finished editing yet, but I started with a GoPro 9, and I have 2 GoPro 9s that I use for like the suction cups, and then the GoPro 11 Mini is on my head cam. Because it's lighter, so when you're moving around and stuff while you're driving, it's
Uh,
it's easier on your head. I think. Which one do you have, Dave? I don't remember.
Yeah, I got a GoPro Hero 7.
7.
I'm
Okay.
cheap.
I couldn't
Yeah,
remember.
that's
Well, I couldn't remember if you had the 7 or the 8.
I have a 7, and then my other one, sometimes if I do the dual where one's facing me, one's facing the road, that's just a cheapy Apex whatever I bought on Amazon several years ago for hunting. And I was like, oh, let's try it out, see if it works. And it records in 4K, but the audio is horrible on it. So all I can use it for is video. And why do I keep the bus in my house? Because I can.
Well,
I,
yeah.
I mean, if they let me, why would I want to drive all the way to the shop if I could just walk out my front door, clean my bus, wipe down, check my fluids, and go. The only drawback is if I have an issue to be able to get my car and get over to get a spare. That's the only real issue I've got is if I've got it. But since I've got a newer bus, I don't really have to worry about that so much. But I mean,
Right.
even if I had a 21 or even a 20 or 21, I don't think I think I still would keep it at my house. You know, I mean, I still go through the checklist every day.
Yeah.
Checking oil, checking my doors, checking all that over and over. It just trying to get it ingrained in our brains to do this. Because there's been too many times where, like when I was in the military, and if you don't sign something off or you don't inspect something when you're supposed to, and then a problem happens, you're liable. So it's
Yeah.
like I don't ever want to be liable.
Somebody here says my sub bus driver one time, the tail bounced into a power pole when she was pulling over. What's your thoughts on that? Watch your tail swing.
Yeah.
I, that's like day 1 of bus school is watch your tail swing.
Well, I have to watch mine every day when I pull up next to. I got a 25 I have to pull up next to, and then I've got to actually pivot in front of him and then start to back in. And I've always got to be conscious about where the front of his bus is and where the back of mine is, because otherwise it could be real easy just to, okay, I get up there and crank the wheel to the left while that back of that tail is going to swing and hit his bus if I'm not careful. So
True. And it's worse. It's worse for the people that have the 23s, 24s, 25s because their tails are slightly longer.
mhm.
Which is one reason at the yard that I don't park over next to the entry gate like some people do for some reason, because the turn they have to make to get out that gate in one try is so ridiculously tight. Somebody's asking if I've ever driven a ICAE. So I just looked it up to figure out what that is. And now that I'm sitting here looking at a picture of it, no, I have never driven it. And I hope to the Lord I never have to. Because all my days, this thing is ugly. As soon as the stream feed catches up, I've got a picture, you'll see what I'm talking about. This thing, oh my days. This is
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
it's like truck chassis but shrunk. It's like a bus that's been and I didn't press the transition bus button again.
Smack, smack, smack.
Yeah, seriously, please reach through the screen and like slap me. Hold on.
Oh,
It should be going through. And any second now. But it's like a bus that's been steamed.
oh my gosh! It.
Dude, what is this?
What is that?
This
And
is
what?
horrible.
What kind is that?
It's an
It's
international AE apparently.
Oh, it looks like someone just took a full size bus and just kind of went and squished it in.
Dude, Nashawn, bite me. You just said there's no way y'all think this is uglier than the C2. Are you kidding me right now?
I like the C2. I think the C2 is slick.
The
I mean, it's
C2
kind of boxy, but of course, I like Volvos. So
Well, see, that's fair. The C2, the C2 is so stylish and ahead of its time that when it came out 20 years ago, people thought it was ugly because the times hadn't adapted to it yet. It was ahead of its time. Somebody said cursed. Yes.
although have you seen the C2 with they actually have one where they have extenders over our lights, over our eight ways that kind of go out and just kind of like this picture here blocks over the top of the eight ways. I've seen a C2 that has that, and that looks really sharp.
Yeah. I just I don't know. I don't like these little truck chassis, van chassis type buses. It's not my thing. It's really not. Although I'll tell you, you know what bus I think is like the ugliest bus of all time? Okay? Are you ready for this? I'm going to show you the ugliest school bus of all time.
It's not that Magic School Bus, is it?
No, it's worse. It is so much worse.
Okay, make sure you hit transition.
I did. It should come through on the feed any second now. This is the Thomas Vista.
What
And
is that? It looks like a Chinese pug with a face pushed in, or a Shar-Pei, you know.
it's like, what idiot looked at this? I don't even have words for somebody in the thing said, "Oh yes, this is horrible." Yes, it is. It's terrible, and they're bringing. People in the chat are bringing up the Lion buses. Have you seen those, Dave?
No, I have not.
It's a Canadian electric bus, and they're also atrocious. I just changed it. Like, it looks like they attempted to copy a C2 and just massively screwed it up. It should come through on the feed any second now.
Okay, good, because my keyboard decided to stop working. Oh,
Like, this... It's like a C2 that was drunk.
yeah. It's like they tried to put ground effects in the front of a C2 or something.
Like,
don't know.
what in the Samantha is going on here? It's so bad. And like, y'all, okay, here, while I've got this picture pulled up, I can't seem to get this picture to enlarge. Come on, Google, work with me here. Okay, do y'all see, Dave, you'll see it as soon as the feed comes through on this picture. Do y'all see this little window between the windshield and the driver's sliding window? Like, y'all think the C2 is bad about that being a blind spot? Look how skinny it is on this bus.
From what I can see from the picture, it looks tiny.
Dude, it's so bad. Yeah, it's coming through on the feed now. Like, that blind spot is going to be worse than the C2 because of how close those are. Like, at least on the C2, this post comes this way, so you have a gap to see out of, but it's so bad. Please don't bring up green power. I live Next city over from their plant. I don't even know what that is. Starcraft Dodge. What is a Starcraft Dodge?
I've never heard of that.
Starcraft Dodge bus. Let's see what this is. You know what? It's worse. It just got worse.
Oh no.
It just got worse.
Andy's Garage decided to make it worse.
This this is bad. Oh, this is so bad.
Okay, I just see a whole bunch of different stuff here that you
This
came up on
is
the feed.
atrocious. Oh,
it's a Dodge van with
it's a van
What?
that went to Chernobyl. It's like mutated and everything. What? I don't even like. Is this a wheelchair lift? Is that what that is?
yeah. I'm guessing that's what those double doors are.
Why are you lifting into a van? It's too small.
Guys, Lane has Windows 10 Vista.
Lane has Windows. What? I'm running Windows.
And I'm on a Mac, so
Oh no, because I just realized my start bar looks different. Okay, so explanation of this: I'm running Windows 10 with a bit of software that makes my start bar or my taskbar look like Windows 7. I don't know if that made any sense, but it does.
yeah.
But that that bus is terrible.
It said,
Somebody
look up
said-
green power.
Somebody said, "Why? Who designed this?" That's a good question. Green power?
Green power. I guess a green power bus.
Green power bus. Oh my days. That's just a bluebird. That's literally just a bluebird. Is what it looks like. It looks like a bluebird.
It's just green. I'm assuming because it's green powered, so that means it's a EV.
Does that mean it's electric?
Yeah, bus.
But it's. I mean, it doesn't look too bad.
It doesn't look too bad. Yeah.
It's tall. But if you look, it's got cargo bays, like a charter bus. Which is interesting. You don't see that much with school buses. They might have like
Yeah.
the little cargo
This would be
bays.
good for like the band or for
Yeah, I was about to say this
even
would be nice for the
football,
band trips.
or even for football, or sporting equipment because they can put all
Yeah.
their equipment underneath. That would be really nice for them. But would a school spend that much money for those buses just to have that option?
Yeah.
You know.
I'm getting those transit buses that are mocked up to be more comfortable, kind of like a charter bus. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from this.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. Now, I think it's
312 says that's where the batteries are. That isn't cargo on those buses.
because they're electric, right? And the batteries are massive. Oh, so I'm just stupid then. Wait. So they had to make it tall then to make. See,
Yeah,
here's
make
my,
room for-
Here's my thing with electric vehicles, right? Like, what happens if this bus gets in an accident? Like, have you seen the way that Teslas burn up when they get in crashes? That worries me. That
Yeah.
actually worries me.
And the we still don't know the life expectancy. Teslas have been around not that long, so
Yeah.
you don't know what the life expectancy of that. I mean, we do know pretty much on hybrids. We can pretty much tell because Toyota's had hybrids around since 2012. They've
Right.
had Camrys that have been hybrids, forever. So
Do you
I
see
say
the
forever.
the picture on stream now of the back of this bus? The only
Ugh.
the only thing I want to point out about this is look at the door. and like look where the floor level is.
Yeah.
That's how tall this thing is?
Yeah, that is tall. I mean,
And they're like, there's a human over there standing next to it, so you can see how tall this is. That's really tall for a school
West
bus.
Virginia. I was gonna say those got to be.
Wow.
Hopefully, they don't have any low bridges.
Dude, can you imagine trying to evacuate out of that back door, though? How high that is? Like, some kid would try to make that jump and break their leg. Somebody's saying, how old is your computer? It's not actually that old. It's a 2020. Lion Electric.
Tesla's has been around just as long as Toyota hybrids. Well, okay.
We have
I didn't
Lion
realize-
Electric here in Ontario. When it gets cold, they have a hard time starting in the winter. I mean, yeah. You need to look at a Tesla school bus? There's no way that's a thing. Hold on. If this is actually a thing, I'm going to crash out on stream.
We might have to call it and say, "All right, we're done." if Tesla has one, I've never seen.
I didn't find a Tesla, but I found whatever this is. It's like a little car that's about as big as a Prius. What the heck? Oh no, the picture's right under it. Oh no. It's not real, thank God,
Yeah.
but it's like a concept art that looks horrific. Wait.
No.
Wait for it to come through on the stream. Okay, there you go. You see this?
Yeah, it's driving down the road with the school with the stop sign out. Yay, I like that.
Oh yeah, that that's inaccurate. Yes. Dude, do you know what this looks like though? The shape, like the shape of it.
Looks like a train almost, or
It
those
right,
18-wheelers.
It looks like those Pacific A4s.
Yes.
Those English steam engine. Hold on, let me. See if I can find a picture of it. Yeah, the LNER A4s. There you go. Should be coming through on Steam on stream.
Looks like the Wienermobile. Yes, that's what it really does look like, the Wienermobile.
Yes, it. Somebody said it looks AI generated. It does. Yeah, look at. So it's coming through on the stream now.
Yeah, looks like that train.
That A4. Yes, that is what the front of that kind of resembles. Except the A4 looks very elegant. This Tesla bus looks like the designers had an acid trip before they built it. Goodness gracious.
Do you do emergency exit drills? Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
We have to. That was one of the things that they told us at the beginning of this year is we had to do one within the first 2 weeks of school, and then the school system or the school administrators, they'll say, "Okay, here you go. We're going to do one, every quarter or whatever." So, yeah.
I just shot root beer up my nose. Ow! Like I was trying not to make any noise because you were talking, but like I went to drink it and it like splashed for some reason and went straight up my nose.
That's why everyone loves your videos, Lane, because
Are we just looking at cursed buses now? Yeah, I guess we were for a little bit. Look up a Bluebird. I know what a Bluebird looks like, trust me. Will they be really rebuilding the transmission on 0906? Or are they going to retire it? I don't know. I didn't know 0906 transmission went out. I knew
the one you were driving.
No, I was driving 0909. That may be what they mean. I have not heard a diagnosis on what was actually wrong with 0909 because after the initial problem, it started driving around the yard fine. And so we were all a little bit confused. But I was like, I'm not taking this thing out because for all I know, it's gonna die as soon as I get to the school.
I was gonna say I tried to stay away from the '09s because it seemed like every time I was driving one last year, I'd have transmission issues. I'd always get that that upside down triangle,
Right.
with the warning sign and then saying transmission error or transmission issues, blah 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 blah. I mean, and I checked the fluid, it was fine, but then they're just like, okay, just drive it back to the shop. But it was still, it's like, okay, well, it's transmission. Are you sure you want me to drive it back?
Right. I was following back when 0621 was still in mainline service. I was following that bus back to the yard, and her transmission started screwing up. And it got stuck in like second gear. And so I followed her with my hazards on all the way, and it made it back to the yard, but it was like, it was weird. Who is Nathan? Somebody keeps yelling Nathan in the chat. I don't know. Lane, my chicken tender plate finally came. Yay!
Nice.
You can have some snacks.
Yeah.
I was going to grab a snack to keep with me, and then I thought the sound of me chewing might be a little bit weird on the mic. So I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I had some decaf that I finished, and then I got my water. And if I really absolutely have to have some, I got some saltwater taffy. But
Right. Somebody right here said, I hate the Bluebirds. The turn signal is too slow. That makes me irate. Have you ever driven behind one of the city buses, those Bluebirds, and watched their blinker? It is...
yeah, I don't think I've ever noticed it. But I mean, I see them all the time.
You know, ours go like, duh, 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 duh. Theirs are like, duh, 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 duh.
Oh, wow.
It is... Yeah, it is horrible. It's terrible. I used to drive 09 CEs, never had a transmission issue. I guess y'all's are cursed. Also, we retrofitted them with Cummins engines. Well, yeah, that would be why, because you're not using the max force. Ours are... I don't want to say ours are junk, but they're pretty close to it. What else we got going on here? A C2 with round warning lights is ugly. Is that a thing? I've never ever seen a C2 with round lights.
I don't know. Ever since I watched what I think is either your last video or the one before that, and I see the dash that you have, man, I like your dash so much better than 201's because I've got all my, the warning is all at the bottom, and how yours is at the top. When they changed that the instrument cluster.
Yeah.
When they
Oh,
changed that.
yes. No, when
Yeah,
they changed...
I like yours so much better.
Yeah,
than I
thank
like
you.
mine.
So do I. That has driven me nuts forever because I did when I had to do my supervised driving. I was on a 22 that was like that, and then when I did it, I've done them on like band trips and stuff, and it drives me insane. Because why would you squish it in? You can still see the bezel in the dash where it was.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
why
wish they
they-
would have kept it up there. I mean, I can change the stuff. So if I don't want to see oil temperature, I can change the oil temperature to say, hey, I want to see what gear I'm in.
Yeah.
I can change them, but
Oh,
it-
funny,
it's-
funny story
it-
about that. So, one time we were on a band trip, and it was late at night, and so all the bus drivers talk to each other on the radio to keep each other awake, and we were asking about fuel quantities, and I told them, I said I have 45, I think it was 45 gallons left, and somebody came back and said, how do you get it to tell you how many gallons you have left? And I said, well, you can scroll the dash around and it gives you a percentage of fuel left. I said, it's a 100-gallon tank. So the math is not very difficult. It's not very difficult with that. So I just somebody is mentioning why do your stop signs take a whole 200 hours to get back on the bus? I don't know. I'm definitely going to write that up when I have my next service. To whoever was talking about the C2 with the round warning lights, I just found a picture of this, okay? I'm swapping the screen over. So, Dave, as soon as this comes on, look at the insanity of ugliness that this is as soon as the stream will change. I don't know why it takes so long. What? Like, you had a bus that looked so fine, and you go and do that to it. What in the world?
What?
Are you
Why?
seeing this?
Why? I mean, that's one thing I like about the C2s is the square lights. You know, I think they look sharp. You know, granted, internally they're round because that's what the LEDs are. But,
But like,
that's just
and
no.
if you look at this, you can tell those are not LEDs too.
Yeah,
That's like they downgraded on purpose. Nashawn,
Ah.
get out of here. He's saying it's a C2, so they're already ugly. Dude, come on. I can give an explanation as to why those exist. Be my guest. Have you ever seen a C2 without the black accents? Yes, and it looks really weird. My team won 8-6 today. Congrats.
Awesome.
They took the lights of the HDX and swapped them on a C2. Maybe they did, but they shouldn't have done that. Whatever it was they did. Somebody's saying look up Pegasus buses. Pegasus bus.
I'll tell you one thing I really wish our buses had, and when I was down in Florida, me and my wife were down there on vacation, and I think it's Volusia County in Florida. They had C2s just like we have, but they had the orange rims, and it looked so good. If you've ever seen a C2 with orange rims instead of the black rims,
yes,
like we
I
have.
have, and I can't stand that.
Oh, you can't? I thought
No,
they
I
looked
don't like
so
that.
good.
You know what else I don't like? Look at what's on the screen right now.
Pegasus? What is
What is this?
that?
It's okay. So wait, let's break this down. So it's a normal cabin on small tires with a truck chassis on a Peterbilt.
Well, hey, that's one thing that maybe you can explain this. When I see the city buses, the Bluebirds, their tires look tiny compared to ours.
They may
Have
be.
you?
You can get
They
buses
look.
with small tires.
Yeah, they look so small.
The thing with small tires is actually if you look at our 2410, another oddball bus we have,
Mm-hmm.
it has small tires, and there's no wheel hump in the cabin, so it's a completely flat floor. Which on the surface you're like, oh well, that sounds good, but the problem is when you go with small tires, the ride quality is atrocious. Which you'll know this because you've driven our church buses that have small tires. That F550
Oh,
is horrible. It is absolutely horrible. It's terrible. I got everybody in the chat is telling me to look up this bus or that bus. Would you drive a charter bus? I'm not opposed to it. The thing with charter buses is most insurance companies won't insure you to do it until you are either 25 or have 2 years experience driving buses. I have not yet hit the 2-year mark, so yeah.
wait a minute. You should be close though.
Yeah, this November will be 2 years since I was driving school buses. I like short trips though. I'm not crazy about like long.
Yeah, I'm
hauls.
the same way. I get tired on long trips. You know, I'd want to take breaks all the time.
Now, granted, coaches are a lot smoother ride,
Oh yeah.
but you know.
T Sharp says all Florida buses are spec like that. Cool.
I tell you one thing, you know, I'm not crazy about their yellow rims. One thing that the Floridians do that I love is, have you ever looked at the bumper? The bumper on Florida spec school buses, they have the reflective gray striping on them,
Oh,
which is not, it's subtle, but it is there. And I think it actually looks kind of nice. Let me see if I can find a good picture. Okay, I'm going to throw this over on the stream. So as soon as it comes through, you'll see it. I've got a picture right here of a Bluebird Vision with a black bumper and like the gray reflective striping on it. It's not like in your face, but
yeah.
it's just subtle enough to kind of get your attention. And I kind of like that, to be honest. I think that's a pretty good spec thing they've got.
And it's all reflective too, isn't it?
I think it's reflective.
I mean, there would be no reason to paint a bumper with stripes like that unless they were reflective.
Well,
I'm
I mean,
assuming.
even just the back and forth colors kind of, it's because it's not a solid color, it'll still kind of grab your attention, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because I mean, there's really not a lot. I mean, looking at this bus that you got up here, there's not a lot of reflectors or anything on the front of the bus. I mean, you've got your 8 ways, you've got your 4 ways, your headlights. That's it. You know.
Right. And you've got,
So-
I mean, the school bus moniker itself is reflective, but
Well, this particular picture doesn't look like it is. You know, usually
is
you've
a
got
little bit.
something on it, but
well, I don't know if you can see. Let me see if I can blow it up. There we go. It's kind of got this like striped look to it. Let me move myself so I'm not in the way. But yeah, it's
oh, okay, yeah,
it's
I can see
kind of.
that.
I've also just noticed that this Vision has the curved glass. Why they're all not like that, I don't know, but can you have the mechanics swap your LEDs on your stop signs and put in the pulsing ones? I could. I mean, I don't know. I guess I could, but I'm not that concerned about it. I have pulsing up top, so that's the main thing I cared about. What else we got in here?
Would you ever consider driving a Cybertruck or a Ford Lightning truck? You want to give it to me? I'll drive it. Sure.
I'd rather not have either. Just being perfectly honest. Cybertruck, no. Ford Lightning,
Well, that's a race truck kind of, you know. If I
I
remember
might
right.
consider. I'm not huge on EVs just because I don't want to deal with the range hassle and whatnot.
Well, I mean, that was it. I have a hybrid, and I actually looked at getting an EV at one point, but that was my biggest. The reason I didn't get one is because of the range, and two, I was like, well, I got to charge this thing every day. When a hybrid, the gas in my car, when it does start the engine occasionally, charges the battery, so just
Yeah.
makes sense to have a little bit of both worlds. So you know.
Well, and I mean, I don't know. I've always been a liquid fuel person, I guess. Would you drive a Cadillac or a Ford? I really don't want either one.
I grew up on Ford. I used to have a Ford. That was my very first car. So
The
I would pick
older
a Ford.
Fords are good. I'm not crazy
Yeah.
about the new ones. Somebody's asking me if I can do the shut up. So, okay. Here we go. To all of the spammers in the comments, shut up! I love how I just look at the stream preview and I see Dave like pulling his headset off his head as I'm about to do that.
Well, I knew you were going to do it, so I was like, I don't want him to yell at my ears. So.
Actually, I totally forgot that Zane has a Tesla and he's weighing in on this. He said the range isn't bad of an issue at times. When charging every night, like your phone, you have a full tank every day.
That's true.
If I was just driving around town every day, then yeah, it would probably be totally fine.
Yeah, I looked at it, and the reason I didn't is because I was like, okay, if I want to drive to the VA hospital in Gainesville, let's just say, from where we're at, I could make it in one trip. Teslas could, but I was looking at Teslas. I was looking at several other cars, and I ended up getting I got a Camry hybrid, so I was like, no, I'm happy with what it is.
Yeah, my concern with that would be, which, and I'm not familiar with like what a Tesla is capable of doing or whatnot. But I'm thinking about, going to Atlanta or the north end of the state, like we do on summer trips sometimes, or going down to Orlando or whatnot. We're talking 3, 4, 5 hour trips. I'm not familiar with how well electric cars handle that. If you would have to plan a charging stop between there. Zane says you would definitely go further in a Camry hybrid. Maybe that's true. I don't know.
Yeah, I get like 48 miles to the gallon, and I've only got a 10-gallon tank.
Yeah. Hello, Simba.
Hey, Sammy.
What was your best moment driving 99? Lord, there's a bunch of them. Everybody keeps asking me if 171's doing good. I have not seen her since she came back from the baseball trip, so... Are you able to explain what the numbers mean after year models?
I certainly hope they keep the rest of them and start numbering them correctly after this.
I wish they wouldn't have gone back to the 80s. I wish it would have just stayed.
Yeah, it should have been 220 on. Would have made so much more sense.
Like, literally, if we did that until everything before the 14s was completely retired, you could just start from the bottom and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and have, like, a batch of 1 to 10, and then the next year be 11 to 20, and then 21 to 30. And, like, the fact that we're filling holes before we have the holes cleared out, I'm not crazy about that.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about that. Because the cool thing is, if you ask me a bus that's between 2012 up, if you just say, bus so-and-so, what year is it? I can think about it for half a second and then tell you, because they're all in order. It's the ones where, like...
Someone asked, are you wearing a prison jumpsuit? I'm sorry. I just had to jump in with that.
What the...
Because
No,
your red shirt looks orange on my screen.
That's true. Well, I'm glad you knew it was red. That's, no, it's just a red, like, button down. Zane says, exactly, I told them I wanted 220, but they informed me of the 80s. And I said, I'll take 80 then. That's, yeah. I'm not sure why we had to do it that way, but...
Yeah, I would have loved to. That would have made more sense. 220, 221, 222, 223, blah, 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 blah. And then next year, go on from there.
It would have been a massive help. Somebody is saying, look at the Thomas Mighty Might. So I'm going to pull this up on stream because it looks like a mail truck. It looks like a oh my gosh. I can't wait for your reaction as soon as this comes through on the stream.
Oh my, yes, it does. It does look like a mail truck.
That is,
And
I've seen.
What's with that arm? I mean,
I've
that
seen
looks like
FedEx.
it looks like a coat hanger.
It's got a. I've seen FedEx trucks that look more appealing than this. And why does it have this like hump at the top? What is this? It's
Maybe
got
air
small
conditioning?
tires and a hump and like the front end out of a UPS truck. And why is the grill like gray?
It almost, I know it probably says words there, but it almost looks like children that they've hit, little, like on the side of airplanes when they,
No,
Hamidy.
that's so bad.
I'm sorry. It's just for the picture, that's what it looks like. It's like, do. Okay.
Well, we're
this thing.
getting demonetized, but whatever. It kind of does look like that, though. I'm still not sure what's up with this. Like, were they trying to mimic a 747? What
Wow,
is
I don't
this?
know. See, on a 747, though, that hump area is the first class area. Class? Look at that. My
There
voice
is nothing
changing.
first class about this thing.
No, not at all.
Somebody said, have you ever driven a school bus through a tornado? Not through a tornado, but I was near a tornado. I probably need to do a video on that because I do have a story about that. When I was unknowingly driving away from tornadic clouds. What year is your favorite year of bus? New ones. If I'm just being honest, I love 99, so I would say a 2012 if it's 99. Other than that, it's yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I love my 24, so it's nice. I can't complain
Dude
whatsoever.
got lucky. You just
Yes, I
happened
did.
to get that route.
Yeah, that fell into my lap. So it's
I mean,
nothing I did.
You got 201 in the same way that I got 99, as in somebody was on a long-term medical leave
Mhm.
and then just never came back. And
That's how JB got his route too.
right.
That's
And
what he was
we
telling me.
went from subbing to just adopting the route, and which I mean, the kids know us and the kids are cool with us. So Zane says, "Do y'all remember the year we had all the schools evacuate buses inside?" That's the tornado story I'm talking about. I probably need to do a video on that someday because like we literally got the buses to the school and then we're outrunning a tornado inside the building.
Okay, that was probably your first year then, because I don't remember that from last year.
Yeah, it was in the spring of 24. So I don't know if you were.
was
Somebody
driving.
said, Lane, if you could drive 0909 for a day, would you? Yeah, I tried, and her transmission just offed itself.
Have I driven a bus in the snow? Yes, when it snowed here last year.
Wait, wait. We weren't driving in the snow.
Well, I mean, what little we had, it wasn't really
Yeah.
like
There was a
there
little
was
bit
still
of
a little bit on the roads.
There was some slush left over by the time we went back, but worst weather you've driven in, escaping a tornado.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking about. Let me scroll back up and find it. Have you guys ever heard of a ship called the Queen Mary that's now a haunted hotel in California? Yes, I have heard of it.
Yes.
Yes, I have heard of it. She had a long life as a ship before that, but actually, I heard that she's now been like a haunted hotel attraction longer than she was actually sailing.
Wasn't that one like the first nuclear powered? No, I'm thinking of something different. I know when I was stationed at Charleston, we had a commercial ship at they had like a little dock area, museum area, and they had a nuclear powered cruise ship there. And I can't remember the name of it. I thought that the Queen Mary sounds familiar, but that's probably not it. But it was like the first one.
I just
as well.
Googled it, and it says the world's first nuclear powered ship was the USS Nautilus. I don't know if
Captain Nemo.
Let me specify cruise ship and see what it tells me. It says the NS Savannah.
That's it.
That's
That was
Okay.
the one I'm thinking of. It was stationed. It was in Charleston. I don't know if it's there anymore or not.
It might be. It's. I've still got this mail truck looking bus on my screen. Get it away. Get it away. What do you think the minimum age for driving a bus should be? You can get your. Holy crap, the chat just went insane. Is the chat going super, super fast on your screen?
No, it's not.
Rip? Okay. Oh, I've got. So the chat's fine on one screen.
Well, I'm looking at the live feed. I'm not actually looking
This
at
guy
the.
just said, if I'm gay, can I still be a bus driver, or will the kids bully me? What the? What kind of question is that? Yes, you can be a bus driver.
Sure, you could be a bus driver.
Why would the kids bully you? You're the adult in the room, so you'd be fine. Would you or Dave ever drive a squatted school bus? I mean, if you held a certain projectile...
Can I put neon lights underneath it?
If you held a certain projectile device to my head, possibly. The funny thing was, if 99 had been sitting for a long time, and the airbags over the back axle bled out, it looked like the bus was squatting a little bit. It's kind of weird. Would you ever be a semi-driver if you got tired of school buses? I did think about it once, but no. Are the black window bases on C2s an option? Because up here they don't have them. As far as I know, yes. It's actually, you would be surprised the list of options that these things have. As far as like what certain states can spec them to be like. I mean, some of it, sometimes it's little stuff that you would never think about, like the color of the window posts, or, you know, if they have lug nut covers or not. I mean, sometimes it's little stuff that you're like, what?
Why are you asking me this?
I don't know. I'm familiar with Georgia spec buses, so. Have you ever heard of a Bluebird D3FE? Not off the top of my head. I'm assuming D3FE's forward engine. Oh, it's like... Okay. It's just the T3, but like little. Let me see if I can swap this over to the stream.
Someone says, I wouldn't be a driver. I'd be a superintendent for the district's transportation. No, thank you. I've been a supervisor in other jobs. I would not want to be the superintendent at all.
Yeah.
It's just too stressful. Too many calls.
No.
Too many working long hours afterwards. Dealing with us drivers. Also, I mean, you deal with parents and you're dealing with drivers at the same time.
No, just being honest, and I don't mean like us specifically, but drivers collectively, like we are insufferable. And it's not us specifically, but like you know the drivers I'm talking about. We have some that are just downright terrible to work with. There goes me not pressing the transfer button again. I'm going to get this right one day.
When you transfer, I need to step away for a second, okay? Got to tell my grandson good night. I'll be right back.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Okay, y'all are saying you can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Hello? 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 Why am I muted? Why am I muted? Why am I muted? Everybody's commenting. Why am I muted? You're mutated? Are you serious? Everybody was saying I'm muted. This guy just said, you're mutated. What, do you think I live in Chernobyl? So apparently I cannot mute you, or else they can't hear me. I'm not sure how this works. It's a streaming thing.
I'm
It's
back.
So weird. Dave's back. Let me see if I can change it back to the double camera. Dave's back. What's your opinion of the 2017 ICRE? I think the ICREs look pretty nice. I've only seen one in person about once, close up. Never gotten to see the inside of one. But they're big. You don't realize how big they are. But a full-length one with like luggage bays and everything is like a small charter bus. I mean, they're very, just their presence is big. You don't realize. Have you heard of the new Gen 3 CE? Yes, we have some. He keeps asking about the Thomas FS65. We are very aware what the FS65 is. Dave, your game room looks awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, took me a while. Yeah, I got the arcade back there. It's got like 500 games or so on it.
What
And
the
my
heck did this
grandson-
guy just say? Interesting thing about Florida, the ambers and reds are on the same switch. You press the top of the switch for ambers and the bottom for reds.
What?
Huh?
Oh, I'd love to see a picture of that.
I mean, you can kind of do that with
No, we've got different. We got ambers on the one, and then when you flip the door open, then the reds come on.
well, if you think about our second gen CEs, because they have the switch in the wheel and they have the red
Yeah.
override,
You're
so
right.
you can kind of do it like that, but you still don't have to because it will do it on its own when you open the door.
What's the oldest thing I have in my game room? Oh, oldest thing. Probably. I got some Coca-Cola bottles here from the early 80s.
It's not that way. It's a switch on the panel. Okay. So it sounds like y'all have some strange buses.
Yeah, that's weird.
Zane says the new buses have the red override like the spares. See, as long as it's not on the steering wheel, I could get used to it. But having the stupid
Yeah.
button in the steering wheel, I hate that.
Yeah, because you're in the middle turning, and then you're like, okay, well, which one is it? So, yeah.
This guy keeps saying we need to look up the Bluebird EC7 II, but I literally just looked it up, and it looks like a Vision. What are you on about? Canada bus driving is better. You wish. How
It's
old
like
were you
your
when you
amber
first
switch,
started driving?
except for it's a 3 position.
I
It's like our door
was
switch. That's our door switch. Our door switch is a 3 position door switch.
Yeah. How old were you when you first started driving buses? I was 19. Which was a little weird. A 19-year-old driver carrying a bus full of like 17-year-old high schoolers. They were very confused by that. Oh
Yeah,
my days.
I was mid 50s, so you know, we'll just leave it at that.
So you know this, the bus that this guy just told me to look up that I said looked like a Vision. It does look like a Vision. However, um, if I just pull up hit the transition button, there we go. If I just pull up the picture of the inside, it looks like a Vision on the inside, but it has the steering wheel from like Volvo semis. It's a little bit strange. There we go. It should be coming through now. Do you see this?
That's interesting.
But
It looks clean.
it looks like the panel and stuff is laid out better than a Vision.
Yeah, I mean it's clean.
It's not terrible.
No, it's not.
So that's the Bluebird.
Zane says, "I don't know if you remember this, but you were on my bus for your senior walk."
Yes, I remember that because I asked him if I could say hey to Dad on the radio, and he didn't realize. He didn't realize immediately who I was, so he was like, "What the heck are you talking about?" And yes, no, now that he's mentioning that, yes, I do remember that. I definitely do remember that.
Dave, what did you do before you were a bus driver? I was a supervisor at a retail store on a military base, and before that, I was active duty. So I was in the Air Force. Did 20 years. Do you like the black hoods on the C2? I've never seen that. But
Oh, it's kind of like a sun blocking mechanism they use sometimes. I think it's okay, but the problem with black paint like that is it's gonna fade and it's
Yeah.
gonna get worn out, especially on a top surface like that. That's not gloss like the bumper. So, I mean, if you kept it clean and touched up, then I'm sure it'd be fine. I wouldn't really care for one.
what's your favorite spare bus?
Oh, 99, obviously. Now.
Okay, let's say before that.
Before the 12s got retired. Okay.
And let's say we can't use the 07s, the white tops that we got mid-year. Because I mean, everyone would want those because they only had like 10,000 miles on them. You know.
So I can't say one of those. Okay.
I was gonna say 06 32 or 06 23, one of those two.
20.
I like the 06s.
Up until literally yesterday, 23 was like renowned as one of our good ones. I like 23 apart from her temper tantrum yesterday. I like 0936. I've had that bus a handful of times, and she's always been pretty solid. Nice to drive. The only weird quirk about that bus is the brake pedal. Like, if you're pushing the pedal a little bit, the brakes will randomly, like, increase their strength without you increasing the pedal. So sometimes the pedal is sensitive, sometimes it's not. Makes it very strange to drive, and the kids think you're trying to brake check them. I'm like, I'm sorry, that's not at all what I'm doing.
Yeah, see, I don't think I've ever driven that bus.
Lane, have you ever heard of a pedal parking brake? I did not know school buses had them, but I've seen them in farm equipment.
I've had them in a car. My first car had one.
Well, my pickup truck has one, but Zane says his favorite spare would be his old bus, which is 0621, and before that 0469. But the dash vibrated at 45 miles an hour. That seems to be a curse with a lot of CEs, is that around 45 they get some vibration somewhere. And I have not figured out why, but they all seem to do it. Some hydraulic brake buses have the pedal. I do, now that you're saying that, I do remember in high school some of our late 90s Bluebirds had hydraulic brakes, and they had that kind of parking brake. That memory is slowly coming back now that you guys are talking about it. I wouldn't want it. I'd prefer air brakes, though. Do you plan on being a school bus driver your whole life? No, because down here you cannot make a living doing it. We do this for the love of the bus, not for the money, I can promise you that much. What's your opinion on the 2026 Vision with the new headlights? I don't like the Vision, period. I think that's... Anybody who's been around the channel more than about 5 minutes knows that. Is it legal to brake check your kids? You're not supposed to.
No.
I've known drivers that have done it, but you're not supposed to. When they sell 99, are you going to buy her? I don't know. Lane, why do you have a black curtain for your background? I don't like it. Well, because I don't have... Excuse me, I don't have a cool background the way Dave does. I have just, like, the end of a bed and a door. The new Vision is the first bus with driver airbag.
Ooh.
I mean, is that necessary? That sounds like a stupid question, but, like, I'm thinking about how tough school buses are. And if you've got... I mean, and they sit up so high.
Yeah.
Most cars that you run into are not gonna... You're not really gonna need that much cushion for an impact, but, I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt. How much do you make as a school bus driver? Not enough. That's my answer to that. Dave and Lane, what's the longest field trip you've been on? You want to take this one first?
I've only been on one field trip, and it was an afternoon. We were actually taking kids, for all the middle school kids, to the high school for one day, so they could meet the other kids their same age from the other schools in our district. And it was...
Oh, is
it
that
was
when the middle schoolers go to the... Or
Yep.
the 8th graders go to the high school?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was just so confusing. You know, I mean, I didn't mind it. I just sat there. I had my bus. So, but trying to drop them off at the middle school and then getting back in time to get to my elementary school was so tight. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing I've noticed is... Sorry, my brain's everywhere because I'm trying to read the chat and listen to you and think about what to say. My longest quote-unquote field trip was an extracurricular trip. I had to drive for the high school band to a football game, and it was across the state. And I'm their media guy. So I got up at 4-something in the morning, did my morning bus route, then went to the high school, picked them up. We drove 9 hours because of traffic. Got there, did the football game. I filmed the entire thing, turned around, drove 4 or 5 hours back because of traffic. And by the time I dropped them off and took the bus and went home, I had been awake about 26 hours. And it sucked. I definitely would not recommend anybody try that. I probably need to... That definitely needs to be a video I make someday, is talking about that whole story, because it actually, like, I have bad memories from it. But when you're in school bus driving, especially because we're not abiding by the same kind of, like, time log laws that charter bus drivers have to follow, because nothing like that's enforced, we kind of go with what needs to be going. And school bus drivers very rarely are ever doing something like that, but when they do, it's like, you know, you need to know what your body's capable of. And I found out the hard way that night where my limit is, and I never want to do that again.
Yes, the field trip drivers do get paid extra for field trips.
Yeah, we do get some extra for it. Longest trip I've Jake the Gamer says the longest trip I've had is 16 hours, about 300 miles round trip. That was in a school bus? Goodness gracious.
Ouch. Ouch.
Oh
We
yeah, I
do
forgot about that. When I was a kid in school, we had an archery tournament in Kentucky. And so we rode on a C2 for like 13 hours to get there. It
Well, didn't last year? Didn't they take some of our buses up to New York?
mm, no.
Are you sure? Because I remember they had a group. They took all the 25s and 24s last year, and I thought your dad went. Um,
They may have gone part of the way. They usually do that on charters though, because the school buses actually are not legally allowed in Manhattan. So if you take school buses up there, which you can do, I mean, we've done it a long time ago in the past, but you have to take the school buses, park in New Jersey, find somewhere to park the buses, and then hire charters to take you actually into Manhattan. Um, whereas, like, Zane and my dad drive for charter companies, they can go straight into Manhattan.
Hmm.
Somebody's asking, do bus drivers follow DOT regulations? Charter bus drivers do. Charter bus drivers have to abide by. I think it's like 10 hours maybe, and then they have to take 8 hours off-duty rest time before they can drive again. School bus drivers, because most of the time it's like, okay, you get on for an hour and a half, 2 hours, putt around, take kids home, and that's it. You know, so there's no law in place for that because, I mean, what school bus driver is gonna have a 26-hour a day? You know, it's not
No.
exactly something you plan for. How much longer are you streaming? I'm not sure. We've been going about 2 hours now. Goodness gracious.
yeah.
I'm thinking. What do y'all think about 9:30? And we'll be done then. How does that sound? Dave, how does that sound to you?
That's fine.
Or do
I'm
you need
good.
to go?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I've already said goodnight to my grandson.
Okay. We'll go till about 9:30, guys, and then we'll wrap it up. I got a question. Does the transportation department have a certain way of picking drivers for routes? You can, if a route becomes available, you can put in a bid for it.
Yeah,
And-
I can talk about this because I just did it.
Yeah, actually,
So-
yeah. If you want to weigh in on this,
Yeah. So last year, I was a sub driver, and then the lead driver of 201, she got sick, and so they said they need a long term sub. So I was like, okay, well, I'm getting tired of taking my flashlight and holding it up here and trying to read the route sheet and just being able to get a constant route every time. So I was like, yeah, sure. Oh, and it's a 2024 bus. Oh, that's nice. I'd like that. So because she actually gave me an option of like 4 because they had like 4 people get ill all around the same time. So I was just like, okay, sure, I'll do that one. And she was like, yeah, you really should do this when it's really close to your house. So I was like, okay, great. And so I did it all last year, and then come this year, that person has decided to retire because she physically couldn't drive anymore. And so what they do is then when we went to our first meeting, they were like, okay, here's all these buses. All these buses need drivers, permanent drivers. You can bid on them, and then you have to put how many years you've been driving, blah blah blah, all the information, and then they take it and then they rack and stack it. So in other words, they first put if they volunteer. Second, they'll look at how long you've been doing it. Third, they'll look at the location because where I live at, they don't want me to have to drive all the way to the other side of the county to drive. And then I forget what the fourth criteria was. So that's why I ended up with 201. So what's nice though now is I'll never have to bid on 201s again. It is now considered my route. Just like
171 is Lane's. Lane didn't have to rebid on his route this year because it was his route last year. So
And if you're a
that's how that works.
yeah, and if you're a driver and you want to change routes, you can post your route for bid. So say if I got tired of my route, I would post it, and then the next time we do bidding, probably next school year, it was in the list of available routes that people could bid on to have. Mine would be listed in the list. I'm not going to do that because I like my route. What happened to 0558? 0558 is now a spare bus. I could have taken it yesterday when I grabbed 0560. It was just a matter of which one I grabbed. But yes, that is a spare bus now.
Have you ever seen a school bus figure eight race? Oh yeah, I
Oh,
watch
good
those on
Lord.
YouTube. Those are awesome.
I sent a video of that to back when my dad was our boss. I sent it to him once, and I said we should do this with our
The
old,
ones that are retired.
old retired buses. Yeah. But now that I'm watching 99 get close to that age, I'm like, no, I take that back. Never mind. Let's not do that. Have you guys ever had any Thomas 3800s? No, we did not. We had Bluebird 3800s. That was the only version of that we had. And then, after that, when bus, cabin, and chassis designers kind of got their crap together and started going by the same names, now we just have. Dave, are you familiar with that?
With what? Say it
The-
again.
The how bus manufacturing used to work for this?
No.
It so now it's Bluebird comes out and says we have a bus, and they make the whole thing. They get transmission from Allison or somebody and put it in, and an engine from somebody and put it in. But the rest, the whole bus, they make it. Back in the day, you used to have like a body manufacturer and a chassis manufacturer. So our old Bluebird 3800 was a Bluebird cabin on an International truck frame. which
Yeah,
is-
we've got one over there. I think I when I was filming, I think I saw that. I saw the bottom. It said International
Mhm.
on the front grill, but then on the top you can see the Bluebird emblem. So
Right. So that's why, like, when that commenter said the Thomas 3800s, that he's talking about a Thomas cabin, like the cabin you'd find on an FS65, but it's on the front end still has that 3800 design. It used to be a lot more complicated as far as who manufactured what and how they were put together. But nowadays it's very streamlined. International builds their entire bus. Thomas builds their entire bus. Bluebird builds their entire bus, and they all get an engine and transmission from.
well, Thomas gets their chassis from Freightliner.
Right.
Right?
Thomas has a partnership with Freightliner. IC has a partnership with the International Truck Company. Which I don't know if you've ever been down the interstate off of like exit 11. The International Truck place over there. If we have like
Yeah, I've seen it.
serious problems with a bus that we don't want to do in-house, our buses will be sitting over there. Right next door to it is a Freightliner place, and our Thomas buses will be sitting over there.
Okay.
So and Bluebird contracts with Ford sometimes for their engines. I mean, but the point is, it's all under one name now. It's not so much like a mixed bag of Skittles where you kind of mix and match parts. Nashawn just commented, Thomas is a subsidiary of Freightliner. IC is a subsidiary of International Truck. So, yeah, that's pretty much. Do you guys ever hang out together or with other drivers during the summer? I see Dave quite a lot at church. As far as other
Yeah, we see-
drivers, it's just kind of.
Yeah, we see Fred, and then once in a blue moon, I'll see, Lane or not Lane, Zane or JB around town or something.
Yeah.
You know, I think Robin lives close to me, so I see her quite a bit, just driving around. Um, but yeah, other than that, we see each other once in a blue moon.
Yeah. Lane, have you ever heard of that one IC first gen that got shredded by a tornado and got rammed through a diner? The driver saved 12 kids from death. Holy crap.
That's wow.
No, I need to go look that story up. Goodness gracious. What happened to 0904? 0904 is still running as a spare. I think, as far as I know. And if you're asking like whether it's being serviced right now, I have no idea. But it wouldn't surprise me. What else we got in here? What's your second favorite bus brands? If we're talking about school buses, I mean, obviously, a C2 is my favorite, but I would say International is probably my second favorite. If I was abducted by aliens, would anybody miss me? Yes, we would all miss you very much.
Definitely.
Go have a chat with the aliens for me, though. I'm interested to know their thoughts on some things.
As you can tell, I'm definitely into aliens. Got them all from behind me.
How good are you at dealing with terrible drivers these days? I mean, y'all see me yell at them on the radio. Not on the radio, but like, they'll say something and I'll yell at the radio.
Oh, I just noticed more and more people don't use their turn signals and just want to cut. You know, I don't have a problem if I'm going along and I'm slow and you want to go around me, fine. But don't do it on double lane road. You know, things like that they just really they irk you.
Yeah, it's
You know?
yeah. I had a driver run my reds once. Did I ever tell you that?
I had like 2 or 3 last year.
Now it was a city bus.
Oh, it was a city bus?
It was a city school bus, yeah. And
Oh my.
I stopped in this, like inside this T intersection, and she just made the turn from the top of the T into the base of the T. It just didn't stop. I was glad it was a door side stop because I was like, what the, y'all gotta quit doing that. What else? What's the LMD in your name mean? It's just my initials. What else we got? We still got 200 people watching. Holy cow.
Yeah. Well, you're very popular, having
I-
10,000 people subscribe.
Apparently,
So,
I didn't
Yeah.
realize. I mean, I didn't know we were gonna have this. Would a Bluebird semi be as ugly as their buses? Probably so. I tell you this. Have any of you had surgery? Yeah, I've had a lot. The thing with, I know I take the crap out of Bluebird a lot, but the flat nose rear engine bus that they have, I think it looks good.
Mhm.
Like I actually like it. I think it's better than the HDX, the Thomas HDX, which sounds weird coming from me because I'm a C2 purist. But you know, if I have to have a dog nose bus, I'm taking a C2. If I have to have a flat nose bus, I'm taking a Bluebird rear engine.
do we watch any sports?
Not
I'm not
really.
allowed to talk to Lane's mother at all during college football
Go Dogs. Yes.
because she is the biggest Georgia Bulldog fan, and I used to live in Gainesville, so I'm a Florida Gator fan. So we don't talk much during that time. We may see a wave here or there, but hey, I did give your mom a Georgia T-shirt that my daughter acquired. So I think I
that's
think your
funny.
sister had one of your sisters have it.
That's funny.
But I'm also into pro football too. I'm from Tampa also, so I'm a Buccaneer fan all the way.
Yeah, well, I don't watch professional football at all. I'll kind of keep tabs on what the Bulldogs are doing, and then watching our high school team, and that's about it. Other than that, I'm really not a sports person. I've got other stuff I'd rather do. How often do you have to fuel now that you have a 100-gallon tank? About once a week. I'm fueling about once a week. Usually Thursday night now is my picked fueling day. Here we go with the spammers again. Y'all gotta quit. If 99 was a dog breed, which would it be? There's an interesting question.
Sad.
That's... If 99 was a dog breed, which would it be? I'm really not sure. What do you think? Okay, guys, if you start spamming, you're getting kicked. I'm not doing this.
You're quicker than I am.
Well, I've got, I don't know if Nashawn is still here. He's watching it too. I'll definitely, if we do this again, I'll go figure out that slow mode thing they're talking about in the chat.
I think you have to have the chat, like, I think there's a button on here that says pop out chat, and I wondered if you can do
Well, I did.
stuff from that.
I did that. I've got the chat sitting in my other, in another window over here, but it's, I need to close it because it's
Live chat, okay. I'm just wondering. I'm trying to figure that out because I don't need to look at us.
Yeah, I've got a button, so I don't
Maybe
know.
you've got it because you're live.
Yeah,
too.
we're almost at the
'cause
end
we're
of the stream,
broadcasting.
so
And we're broadcasting on your channel too. So
yeah, I'm not worried about it. Lane, speak up. I feel like I'm yelling at my microphone. I definitely need to go watch another tutorial on how to do this. I thought I knew, and I'm apparently not doing it well. Off topic, but do you do photography for the football team? I was down there on the field near the bands yesterday. Not for the football team, I just do it for the bands. But if you were there, you probably saw me walking around. Because it's pretty easy to see if you're walking around the field.
yeah, I saw your mom had posted something, and I was like, oh, Lane looks so happy.
She took a picture of me, like, while I was mid-step looking at the ground. Cause I was trying to move from one location to another. I'm like, that is not when you take a picture of me.
Well, my chat stopped working.
0909 versus 0906 versus 0936, which is better? Well, 36 hasn't broken down on me, so I'd have to go with that one. But I like 0909 because it was my childhood bus. So I want to see Lane in person. I'm not sure if that's a compliment or creepy. What buses are in the background? Oh, this photo in the background actually is a lineup of our band buses from when I did that 26-hour day. That's actually a picture I took of them.
Someone said something about Maine. Where was it? I saw it about the state of Maine. I've actually been to Maine. I've got relatives that live in Massachusetts, so I have been up in the northeast. Is it northeast? Yeah, a few times.
If your district sold all the buses and replaced them with Visions, would you quit? No, I mean, I'd drive it. I'd like to drive one once just to see how it is, but I have a feeling it's not. Have you ever met a subscriber while you were out? Yeah, actually I have. It was very strange. I wasn't expecting to get recognized. Choose the edit button in the lower left corner. I swear they keep saying that.
I don't know. I don't see anything in the lower left corner.
Well, you won't because you're not the one.
Oh yeah.
That's.
Would I rather stay in Georgia and drive for Lowndes or drive anywhere else and why? Well, I want to stay here because my house is here. I don't want to move again. I mean, I'm at an age where I don't feel like it. Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah.
Actually, I spent quite a bit of this morning. I was looking online to try to see if I can find one of those cooling seat covers, but none of them had any good reviews. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to worry about it.
Uh, but no, I don't mind the heat so much. I mean, I've lived in Florida, I've lived in Charleston, and I've lived here,
I
and I lived in
hate the
Japan.
heat.
So I don't like the heat, but I'm kind of used to it.
I hate it with a passion. But I've grown up here and I've built my entire life here, so you know, that's kind of that question of, well, where would I go and what else would I do? You know, I don't know. Maybe you have to open your stream on YouTube and it'll pop up. Maybe. I'm gonna sit down at some point and watch a tutorial after this to try and figure out what I'm missing. Um, I thought I had everything done right. Apparently, I didn't. Any tips for new school bus drivers? The kids are gonna act stupid and try to say things to get in your head. Don't let them get in your head.
Yeah,
Just focus on driving the bus safely. That's number one. Focus on keeping the kids safe and
in their seats.
yes, and then work on the behavior problems.
Yeah, there's many times where I'm like, wait till I'm at a stop. When I'm at a stop, you can come up and ask me a question. You know.
Yeah, and I'm less, with older kids, I'm less worried about that kind of thing. But with elementary kids, definitely they need to stay in the seat. You are, as a bus driver, you are the adult in the room, and don't be afraid to put your foot down for that. What else we have in here? My brother is. Oh dear, my phone has fallen.
Oops.
Okay. What else? We got about 3 minutes, guys. So if you have any last minute questions you'd like to add, go ahead and add it in now. We'll try to answer some last few questions before we finish up here. I'm gonna see if I can slowly ease the music back in a little bit. Put LED eyes on the bus.
I've got eyes on my LED panel sometimes. It's just kind of, especially it's for my elementary kids to let them know I'm constantly watching them.
Yeah. What else we got in here? Was the bumper on 171 replaced? Maybe that's why it only says 171. I actually knelt down next to it and realized that you can see the faint outline of where it used to say 21. So it used to say it on there. I'm just not sure why they took it off.
Why'd they take it off?
I have no idea. Because the bumper hasn't been replaced.
Yeah. Do we have assigned helpers? No, we do not. Well,
we can. I don't.
We can have some kids. I've got a couple of kids that I've trained because I'm at that age. I'm like, well, if something happens to me, here's how you stop the bus, set the parking brake, and get on the radio and call. That's it. I don't tell them how to do anything else. And then at that point they'll send somebody to do it. But actual adult helpers, no, only our sped buses have those.
Yeah. Which every once in a while I think it would be nice, but what would you do if your bus broke down en route? I would.
It's happened before.
Yeah.
For both of us.
They can. One of our mechanics will bring you a bus and swap with you and tow your broken one back. Why has your dad not been in a video? Because he doesn't want to be.
Yeah.
It's fairly straightforward. Have you played Roblox? No.
No.
I could say something snarky about that, but I won't. Worst bus you've ever driven? 0622. Not even close. That bus is horrible. Did you ever get 171's alignment done? Not yet. I have not been in for service. What does LMD stand for? It's my initials. I've said this like 5 times tonight.
201 to be retired to a spare line, not for a while.
That's gonna be at least 20 years.
No, the warranty part is still waiting. They've ordered the parts, just waiting for them to come in.
Yeah, seriously. Does the district own a tow truck, or do y'all use a company? We have our own record truck we can tow them with. In a freak scenario where we have multiple incidents happening in the same time, we would contract it out to somebody. But I've only seen that ever happen once. That's extremely rare.
That I heard them on the radio one time last year, but it was because they were busy towing one bus and they needed to get another one out of the ditch. So
Yeah, that.
I think
oh
I heard
gosh,
it one
yes.
time last year.
No, I remember that day. That was extremely weird.
Yeah.
Somebody says, "What do you think about Michael Jackson?"
Oh, I love him.
I
That's
don't-
awesome.
I don't have a whole. I don't really have an opinion on him, to be honest.
Well, that's my generation. I grew up on MJ.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I tell you, if it wasn't so late at night, I would attempt to do the thing, the he thing he does. But yeah, that was loud. We got people saying bye, good night, guys. If you're heading out already, maybe those number stickers on the front bumper came off when they got sprayed with the pressure washer and never replaced. It could be, but that bus has been missing those stickers longer than we've had that bus wash. Any last minute questions, guys? How old are you? 21. You need to do a duo thing again, possibly. Can we get one last shut up? Shut up! There you go. I'm clipping that. Oh boy, I'm gonna turn into an internet meme. All right, any last thing y'all want to throw in the comments? Blueberry Welds, I see what you're saying, but I'm not gonna answer that on stream. I might in a video someday. What bus is your favorite? 99. All right, y'all have 15 seconds.
Yeah, and if any of you guys want, we're actually I'm because of Lane, you know, my channel is started because of all you guys, and if any of you guys want to, I'm at Bus Vibes 25. So if you want to check it out, and you'll hear me talk about Lane a lot, actually.
Yep. Yeah, I do need to do the tornado story. All right, we're headed out. Thank you guys so much for 10,000 subscribers, and thank you for joining in.
That's awesome.
We've had a great stream. I didn't know we were going to go for 2 hours, 2.5 hours actually. Thank you for your comments, your questions. Thanks for dropping in. Hope y'all have a great night. Go subscribe to Dave. We will catch y'all in the next one. Goodbye.
Yep.
Good night, internet land
See y'all.
people.